This is the application for the eufy SoloCam S340. I have the particular camera up here at the top. And what we're going to look at right here is all of these little icons that we get before we even access our device. In the upper right-hand corner right here, this is an indication that my solar panel is not plugged in correctly, or I'm using a third-party solar panel, and I should probably go check that out. And if I select Go Check, it's going to give me some directions as to, hey, what's going on? And then once I do that, I can do a wire test, and it will kind of talk to the two. And there you see, oh, it is successfully connected. And then I can come back here, and that little icon goes away. Further down on this page, we have our three dots in the lower right-hand corner. If I select this, this will allow me to go directly into the settings for the camera, or I can select to snooze, meaning I will not get a notification for a specific setup time. 30 minutes, an hour, all the way up to 12 hours if I want to. This is one of the unique features that I like about eufy cameras, in that you can snooze them so you don't get bombarded with notifications, especially if you're outside. Over here in the left-hand side, there is a battery icon, there is a connection icon, looks like Wi-Fi, and then an icon that indicates that it is attached to solar, and then the name of the camera. To the right of those three dots, which I missed, there is a box with a number in it. In this case, that number is 3. If I select that, that is going to bring me into, hey, here are all of the events that I've captured for this camera. 3 means that those are the 3 most recent. And 2 of those are me walking by the camera, taking out the trash. And then the last one right before I came in is this cat that decided to wander through my yard. We'll come back to this area momentarily, because as you can see, it's accessible down here from the events area. If we come back and select our play button in the middle there, that's going to bring us into the camera itself. And right here, you can see I'm kind of at the point where it's dark. So the light is turning on, which is indicated right there. And I have the split screen view. So this is your wide angle versus your zoomed in. For now, I'm going to turn the light off. So you're going to see this, it's going to fade itself out. It's not quite dark enough yet where it needs to engage the IR lights, which is good. In the lower left-hand corner right here, you can see this is the quality. So I have it set to 3K. You can do auto 720 or 1080 right there. And from here, we have the ability to flip the view of this. So if we wanted to have a widescreen or landscape mode, coming down, we have our record icon right here in the lower left. If I select this, whatever is on the screen will be recording. It's letting me know video will be recorded according to video quality live view. So I say, yep, I got that. And now it's recording a video. I can select that and it will now save it to my album. Here I have my sound. I can mute or turn on the audio, meaning I can hear what's coming from the camera. Here we have my mic toggle. If I press and hold this, now the people outside can hear me talking. Take your finger off, nobody can hear you anymore. Here we have our pan tilt controls. So notice it just pops up this little icon right here. And from here, we can move the camera around. And I wanted to bring the camera down to its lowest most point, because you see there's a little flash of blue. You're going to see that whenever you get to the maximum range that this can do. Now, you did see me before playing with this light icon. Well, that is a quick way to toggle on and off your light. Notice down here, there is, if I bring that up a little dash. And if I swipe to the right, that brings me to my other set of controls. From here, I can screenshot right there. I take a screenshot. Notice that my directional pad does not go away unless I select to put it away. So if you need that always there, make sure you just turn that on. So doing a screenshot takes a still frame of whatever's going on in frame. I've got my night vision. I could do black and white, which is classic IR. Colored night vision, meaning that those LED lights will turn on, and then turn off, meaning I will not have the assistance of either. Here we have AI tracking on and off. This is a quick toggle, which you can access from other locations as well, meaning it will intelligently track people. These are preset locations that you can set up for your camera. In my case, I have 4 set up, and I set it up before I did the split screen, so it actually shows me what level of zoom I was using for that. So I've got one that will 3 times zoom out over by my well over there. So this is what I was using it for. I have another 3 times quick one that zooms to the front of my house. I have my preset, hey, this is where I want you to start one. And then I have one that I set up, which is just, hey, look down and let me know that things are kind of flooded or not. And I was mainly using this right here to do that. If for whatever reason I want to edit, change, or delete, I simply select this icon right here. And then it's showing me, hey, I've got all of these presets set up. Which one do I want to edit or remove? I can simply select the X in the upper right-hand corner, and that will get rid of it. Notice in this mode, I have to choose, do I want it to be the wide angle or the close-up. In this case, I'll say, yes, I want to keep it as the wide angle because I'm replacing my downspout view that I did before. So I'll just put this into position very quickly. There we go. I can see both my downspouts. And then I can select set as default position, means this is where I want the camera to start always. So I just come over here, that's highlighted, and I select set, and I say, yes, that's fine. So now that is selected. When I set this one up, I set it up as the preset. But those are our positioning. Last icon we have is a 360. Selecting this will have the camera rotate and check itself 360 degrees. In my case, I have it very close to a wall, so I can't really see much. And if I had the IRs on, it would blow out the IRs. So just keep in mind where you have this place can determine the amount of visibility that you have. Because if you have something that gets in the way on your widescreen, but your zoom still has room, well, that's still going to get blown out because the IRs are going to get in the way and kind of feed that back into the camera. In this case, it's really the LED lights that are getting fed back, so it doesn't look as bad. But this gives you an idea of what the low light sensor looks like. Those are our camera controls. If we come to the upper right-hand corner, now we have our settings sprocket. But to the left of that is our actual alarm trigger. So this will allow us to trigger the alarm for 30 seconds. Right now it's set for sound and light. I can say, no, I just want the light only. And I can say, trigger the sound on the camera only, sound on the home basing camera, and then do I want lights or sound? In my case, I'm going to say camera only, camera sound only, home base sound, or in my case, I will not have it sign off. I'll not have it go off on my home base, but I'll do outside. And then I select confirm. What this is now doing is triggering outside. You can see it's strobing. Should have given you a strobe warning. And my neighbors are probably wondering what is going on. I can, right from here, toggle that off. Notice it will ask, are you sure? I'm going to say continue. And it does take a little bit for that to turn off, but now it's off. And now we're going to come up to the settings sprocket right here. Selecting our settings sprocket is going to allow us to change, manipulate, and control certain aspects of our camera. Right here, there is a quick toggle for snooze, meaning I don't want this camera to record at all anymore. So I would click that. Here on the left, we have our connection type. In my case, I have it connected to my home base. If you had it connected via Wi-Fi, you would see that information here. Next, we have our motion detection. Right here, I have motion detection turned on, and I could select active zones. If I set up an active zone, that will allow me to set up something to happen in a location. But I left this on because I wanted you to see that after setting up an active zone, you will only be notified of motion that occurs in that area. So if I come here and we'll swap this around, I can press the plus sign, create one, put that over there, create another one, and you'll see we can have a maximum of 2 zones. Within those zones, that is the only time that I would be notified if there was movement. We can come down here, we have our detection type, human recognition, meaning AI powered, human detection, vehicle detection, pet detection, and all motion. I don't have any cars that go through here, so I have that turned off, but I do have people and pets that frequent that area. Coming down, we have our detection sensitivity. I have it on 6. I have pretty good results using that. Next, we have our AI tracking. This is the intelligent tracking that I showed you before, which will follow a human figure, but not pets. I wish it would follow pets because I got a lot of things that wander through my yard. Coming down, we have motion test. This will allow you to test the motion sensitivity. So if you walk out there, it would flash red, letting you know, hey, I picked you up. And then here we have tips for installation. And you may have seen me do this when I was actually setting it up, but it will walk you through the proper method setting up your camera's placement. Next, we have power management. If I select that, here we can see I'm not getting any solar power right now. The sun's not lit up. I do have a solar panel connected, and it has 98% battery. At the current time of filming this segment, I've had this up for 4 days. It has detected 218 events and has recorded 62 of those events. Here, again, you may have seen this during setup, but I have options for either optimal battery life, meaning the clip length will be 22nd and it won't be as sensitive. I have optimal surveillance. Those clip lengths can be up to 60 seconds. And then I have a customize. So if I select this, I could select up to 120 seconds for my clip length, and then my interval, how quickly in between triggers will it start the next one. And then end clip early if motion stops. So if it stops detecting and it hasn't made it to that 120, it will stop it. But that's what we can do under our customized recording. Power source, you've got 2 options, battery or external solar panel. It is on by default to battery. If you're going to use the accompanying solar panel, make sure to select that option or else you won't actually see that information up here. And then we have our dashboard. This dashboard is their solar input dashboard, letting you know how much energy you have saved by using the solar panel. So here I have 7 days that I've been running it. If I had a 30-day graph, it would show up there. But this lets you know you're gaining this much power. And if you want to know, here's your solar charge efficiency. On the first day I had it out there, I had 945 watts, then 30 watts, then 656. And today when I'm filming, I had absolutely no sun, so I didn't get any input there. And then the longer you use this, the larger this will grow and then become a tree that you can view and see. And it will tell you the total number of charging hours and then the total charge efficiency. So right now I have saved or taken from the sun 1932 milliamps worth of power. So it's a nice metric if you're into data, and that's all found under power management. Preset positions, I showed you this before, but this is another way that we can access this. So if we wanted to reset our preset positions, say that 10 times fast, this is another way and area that we could do that. Pan tilt calibration, just like it sounds, here's a place that we can turn on our AI tracking, just another area, and then pan tilt speed. This will allow us to set how quickly the camera moves left to right and up and down. It will load up an image right there, and then we have a little toggle right there allowing us to see in real time. So right now, if I move to the right, that is the speed. If I move it up to its fastest and then move it back to the left, that's the speed. So it is a finite way that you can calibrate how quickly you would like to see this move. And then if you wanted to, there's also a manual calibration that will 360 up, down, make sure that the camera is absolutely centered. Keep in mind, if you preset an area as a set default position that is not the true and absolute center, you may notice when this comes back around that it's not going to be in the exact location. And we'll let that kind of swing back to the front. And note, this is not what I had as my preset, but that's what it's saying is the true center. Coming down, we have our spotlight settings. I can have the spotlight on or off, and then I have a brightness scale. This is a warmer white light as opposed to a cool white, but if you just don't want to have to deal with the light on, just toggle that off right there. And then we come down to our video settings. Selecting this, do we want any watermarks as part of this? In my case, I have the time and logo. I can just have the time, or I could select nothing. Video mode. I have dual mode currently turned on. When I first started testing this, I had single mode, which would allow me, if I select that and then come back all the way to the front here, now I have a toggle right here that allows me to select 1 or 3. If I select 3, this will push in and zoom and swap cameras, and then I'll pull that back out. That option is only available to you if under the video settings you don't have the split screen. Ideally, you would have the split screen because that is one of the primary reasons that I like this camera. Yes, you saw the warning that it will drain the battery faster, but it is well worth it and is solar powered to keep itself topped off, so you don't have anything to lose. Streaming quality, this is another area that you can access that. Auto 3K, 1080, or 720. Recording quality, well, how do you want these to be recorded? Night vision, how do you want things to be recorded at night? In my case right now, I have colored night vision that turns the LEDs on. I have black and white if I just wanted classic black and white with the IR, and then I could turn this off completely by selecting that. Coming down, we have privacy zones. If I add a privacy zone, I left this on. This is letting me know if I set up a privacy zone, the camera will no longer move. It will lose its pan tilt functionality. And in other companies, they don't take away that pan tilt functionality when you set up a privacy zone. But what a privacy zone does is adds a box that says, in the future, do not record anything in this. Do not allow me to see what is over here. In my case, I have a house over there. And if I had this camera tilted more that way, I would be like, no, I don't necessarily want to see anything in that house. Please put that there. So a privacy zone is a good option to have, but with a pan tilt camera, you might not want to utilize it unless you really are just keeping it in one spot. Audio settings, here we have microphone on or off. Audio recording as part of your downloadable videos, make sure that audio track is there or not. Speaker, this is your speaker on or off, and then speaker volume, 80% is what it comes out of the box as. Notifications, well, here we go. Saw me do this during the setup, but most efficient, text only, no picture, full effect, get text first, and then a thumbnail to follow if available, and then include thumbnail, takes longer because it's going to put those two together. And then app alert tone, you've got some notification sounds right there. Coming down, we have general. So this is where you can rename your device if you wanted to, turn on and off the LED status light, change your Wi-Fi connection. So in my case, it's connected to the home base. If it wasn't, I could change my Wi-Fi right there. Storage, this is going to show you the storage of, in my case, the home base. If you were using the internal storage of this camera, that would be shown there. Mounting guide, it's going to walk you through the steps on how to mount this. And then about device is how you get to your firmware, but also shows some sensitive information, so I will not be sharing that. Coming down, we have share this device. You can send an invite to somebody as long as they have their own eufy account to share this camera. And then share your thoughts. Do you want to tell eufy how much you like or wish there was a different feature with their camera? You can do so by using that. And then last at the bottom there is remove this device. And that will remove the device from your eufy account. And that's all the settings we have for the camera. But I'm going to bring you back to the home page of your eufy app for one more thing. Down here, we have our events. If I select this, this is going to break out all of your events for all of your eufy cameras. In my case, I have a filter set up to just show me the garage. If I select my clip, I have options. Downloading will download it to your smartphone. Sharing, you could share it wherever you would. Donate, you would donate that clip to eufy to help train their AI. Delete, self-explanatory. And then favorite that as one of your personal favorites. AI Edge is going to be if you utilize the Homebase 3. There's a lot of information in there. Go check out my review of it over there in the upper right-hand corner if you're interested. That's everything that we could do for the eufy SoloCam S340 in the eufy app.